Hello, good evening. So much at stake for Ipswich and Peterborough tonight. Wembley would be nice for starters, but ultimately it is promotion, of course, they are both after. So everything to play for, sure to be tense for all concerned. And the prospect of extra time and penalties looming should things not be resolved over 90 minutes. Well, we have an extraordinary night of football for you coming right up. We are going to start at Portman Road. You know the score. Ipswich staging that superb comeback at the Reebok Stadium on Sunday. 2 goals down, then Marcus Stewart's goals pulling it back all square. Portman Road packed for tonight's decisive return leg. A huge air of anticipation and expectation among the town fans. Could this be the season Ipswich at last secure their return to the Premiership? Victory tonight would take them a step closer. Ipswich against Bolton. Your commentator, Tony Jones.
Well, David Johnson has given Ipswich a huge fillip by declaring himself fit for the biggest game of the season at Portman Road. Johnson suffered a whiplash injury to his neck at Bolton, and Ipswich weren't too hopeful he would recover in time. Psychologically, Johnson's availability has given Ipswich a huge lift, but they do make 2 changes. Wayne Brown is preferred to Manu Tites. Gary Croft is in for Fabian Vilnius. Tony Mowbray, like Johnson, has been given the all-clear. Bolton are facing their 62nd game of an exhausting season, and they're without their top scorer, Idagood Johnson, who damaged knee ligaments in the first leg. So Robbie Elliott comes in. Dean Holdsworth is the lone striker up front. Paul Ritchie and Alan Johnson were Sunday's other casualties, but both have been given the all-clear. Michael Johansson is one of only 3 survivors from the Bolton starting lineup from the second leg last season. He's returning to Denmark in the summer, but says he wants to make his farewell appearance at Wembley rather than Portman Road. Tonight's referee is Barry Knight, who comes from Orpington in Kent. Forget the law of a double rollover in tonight's National Lottery draw. There are 2 very attractive prizes on offer to the winners here. A guaranteed day out at Wembley, and then the potential to really hit the jackpot should they win promotion to the Premiership. The club who strikes it lucky could be looking at an additional £10 million or more of income next season. Fantastic support for Ipswich Town inside Portman Road, despite all the misery and the disappointments of recent years. And a slip there by Ritchie is letting Johnson. Good save by Jaskalainen. Well, if he was feeling the effects of the injury, the adrenaline is really pumping now for David Johnson. Wayward pass by Paul Ritchie, and Johnson was in on it in a flash. It's a good effort by Johnson. Surging run forward by Johnson. He made the goalkeeper really work there. Ipswich have the corner. Venus inside the 6-yard area. Mowbray ready to make his run now. And here's Scowcroft. Whitlow with a header clear. On by Venus. Whitlow again. Desperate measures necessary inside the Bolton penalty area. And there's a slip there by Brown. And a fantastic effort. Johansson so close. He saw that Richard Wright had ventured off his goal line then to come out and try and narrow the angle, anticipating a run-in on goal by Johansson. Brown with the original slip, and that was a wonderful opening for Bolton Wanderers. His Fish, who's always comfortable on the ball. Now Holdsworth, who's dropped to a deeper position and has been able to release Johansson. Johansson again. Johansson has made a very bright opening. It's Johansson's cross, a real test for Richard Wright. And the goalkeeper has stumbled. The goal has been allowed to stand. Richard Wright felt then that he'd been bundled off the ball, but Bolton Wanderers have gone in front, and Dean Holdsworth will claim it. Johansson's cross was always going to be a test for the goalkeeper, and it just fell invitingly there for Holdsworth. It was Elliott who'd gone up originally with the Ipswich Town goalkeeper, but Wright didn't have his hands on the ball. It was a fair challenge, and Bolton Wanderers have taken the lead. Magilton. Now Stewart. Clapham offering the option out wide. Johnson! That wasn't too far away. He's looking a far more rounded player this season, David Johnson. Lots of pace and lots of power. Clapham's contribution can't be overlooked either. The angle just wasn't quite right there for David Johnson. Magilton trying to give Ipswich some inspiration. Magilton again! Penalty! Never any doubt in the referee's mind. But confrontation now, because Mike Whitlow felt there that Jim Magilton had taken a dive. It's a high-octane occasion. And now Barry Knight, the referee, really has to take charge. It was an incisive build-up again by Ipswich. Magilton just taking the return pass there, and he was caught by Holdsworth. Magilton and Warhurst, the two who are being spoken to. It's Jim Magilton who's set to take the responsibility from the penalty spot. Magilton, who scored for Ipswich at Queen's Park Rangers at Easter. And Jim Magilton has made it 1-1. And still the argument goes on with Mike Whitlow. Controversy and an equalising goal for Ipswich Town. It was a well-struck penalty. Jaskalainen had no chance. Perfectly placed. George Burley will be happier that his side have equalised, but he's still upset that they're not showing the urgency which he might expect. Johansson in smartly. Here's Jensen. Johansson again, who's found a bit of room. Solid challenge by Matt Holland, who's starting to win more of the ball in midfield now for Ipswich. Here's Scowcroft. And Scowcroft was caught there by Whitlow. Play allowed to continue. And David Johnson is free. Stewart in the penalty area, still with Johnson. Warhurst. Now Whitlow. Johnston tight to the touchline, confronted by Croft. Holland across to charge the cross down. Haven't seen a great deal of Alan Johnston in this first half, who suffered playoff heartbreak with Sunderland a couple of years ago. Surely there's a handball in there. But Bolton Wanderers have the free kick. A challenge by Croft on Johnston. But before Croft committed the foul, there did appear to be a sleight of hand as Johnston made his way across that Ipswich penalty area. Johnston has been added to the defensive wall. Holdsworth is over this free kick. Jensen's there. So too is Warhurst. Here's Holdsworth. He's got another! Terrific free kick. Richard Wright thought he got all the angles covered, but a superbly worked free kick has given Bolton Wanderers the lead again. Jensen, who stepped over the ball, and a terrific curl on that, right into the bottom corner. He worked it right the way around the wall. It was a wonderful effort. Even with Johnson and Holland on the edge of the Ipswich defensive wall, Richard Wright beaten. Here's Croft. Now Brown, who did well to find Holland. Here's Stewart. Now Venus. Stewart again. Ipswich have another penalty. Marcus Stewart was brought down inside the Bolton Wanderers penalty area, and Barry Knight surrounded by Bolton players. The Bolton players absolutely incensed. Stewart it was who got through, and the challenge there coming in from Ritchie. He made contact, he took Stewart's legs away. The referee got it right. It's Magilton, and this time Jaskalainen has saved it. Fantastic save by the Bolton Wanderers goalkeeper. Ipswich haven't got a particularly good record from the penalty spot, but Magilton decided to go with his first instincts to put it into the same corner that he put the first one in. The end of an incredible first half. A first half riddled with controversy. Dean Holdsworth, who gave Bolton Wanderers the lead after Ipswich claimed that their goalkeeper Richard Wright had been fouled by Robbie Elliott. Jim Magilton, who equalised from the penalty spot. It was Holdsworth who made it 2-1 with a fantastic free kick for Bolton. And then right at the end of the first half, Magilton, who missed from the spot this time. Juri Jaskalainen making the save. It's still delicately poised though. Anything could happen here at Portman Road, where at half-time it's Ipswich Town 1, Bolton Wanderers 2, and it's 4-3 to Bolton on aggregate. Second half underway, 45 minutes of the latest episode of a drama which has had everyone on the edge of their seat, just as it did last season when Ipswich won 4-3 after extra time but missed out on the away goals. As Ipswich are making the early impression in the second half. James Scowcroft trying to get in ahead of Mike Whitlow. Clapham once more prepared to deliver the ball early. Venus. Johnson just trying to get Magilton away. Magilton, terrific run! Fantastic goal by Jim Magilton! Just the lift Ipswich Town wanted at the start of the second half. A goal from absolutely nothing. He missed one from the penalty spot, but he was so sure-footed in there. Johnson, who just clipped the ball away from Whitlow. And it was Magilton who weaved his magic inside the Bolton Wanderers penalty area. Away from Warhurst, away from Johnston, and that wasn't an easy finish. Magilton got a lucky break in there, but that was a fine finish. And now Ipswich are level. The goal has threatened to take the roof off Portman Road. So important that Ipswich kept their heads after missing that penalty just before half-time. Now they are back level, and it's Jim Magilton who's got them level again. Now there's danger signs here, and Bolton Wanderers are back in front. It's Johnston. The ball was launched upfield from that Bolton Wanderers free kick. Jaskalainen it was who pumped it forward, and it was just chested down there by Holdsworth into Johnston's path. How many more turns will this game produce? It was a magnificent finish by Johnston. Well, defensively this season, Ipswich Town have been very sound. Tony Mowbray has given them a bit of strength in defence, but tonight, defensively, Ipswich have been found wanting. This is the moment that Alan Johnston restored the lead for Bolton Wanderers. It was a terrific finish as he cut inside and got in ahead of Matt Holland. Croft. Good catch by Jaskalainen. And a good throw out to pick out Jensen. Another break on here for Bolton Wanderers. Holdsworth just ahead of him, still with Jensen. Now Holdsworth, can he find the finish? Not this time. But Bolton looking so dangerous when they win possession and they get Jensen or Johnston forward. Now it's Ipswich Town's turn. Here's Stewart. Only Johnson inside the penalty area. He's been joined now by Scowcroft. Magilton. It's worth a try, but it'll take more to beat Jussi Jaskalainen. This is the fourth year in succession that Ipswich Town have reached the First Division promotion playoffs. And there won't need reminding now that the club finishing one place away from automatic promotion to the First Division nearly always struggle in the playoffs. Another powerful header away by Fish. Back in again by Venus. Mowbray with a header on. Magilton! What a fantastic equaliser! Oh, incredible! Absolutely incredible! It's a hat-trick for Jim Magilton. It's the equalising goal for Ipswich Town, and it arrived just 50 seconds from the end of normal time. One last hopeful throw of the dice. Tony Mowbray pressed forward, just did well enough there to hold off the challenge. Fish was pushing and pulling, but Mowbray with direction on the header to pick out Jim Magilton. How much more can anybody take inside this ground at the moment? Clapham hurried the pass forward then. Here's Naylor. Now Stewart. Marcus Stewart fouled then. Mike Whitlow it was who brought Stewart down. Whitlow is involved in an unpleasant incident with Jim Magilton. Has been sent off. He can't believe it. He spoke out in the first half, but he wasn't cautioned, and that was a straight red for Mike Whitlow. So if Bolton do get through, Mike Whitlow will miss the final. What emotions those supporters have endured tonight. They've seen their team beaten in 3 playoff semi-finals, and tonight, with less than a minute of normal time remaining, they thought they were going out for a 4th successive time. Then Jim Magilton scored again. Now we're into extra time. I think we all know what she's going through. 30 minutes of extra time. Bolton Wanderers down to 10 men. Ipswich Town given the lift of a goal with just 50 seconds of normal time remaining. Bolton's best hope now surely is to hold out for penalties. forward by Venus. Naylor again up. Here's Johnson. Another penalty! Another penalty! And once more it's Paul Ritchie who lost his composure and dragged David Johnson to the ground. It was so unnecessary. The ball was in the goalkeeper's hands, but Ritchie just manhandled David Johnson. In the meantime, there's a yellow card for Mark Fish. But it's getting terribly disjointed and disorganised now for Bolton Wanderers. Their heads visibly dropped when Jim Magilton equalised. But it's not Jim Magilton who'll take this penalty. It's Jamie Clapham. Clapham to put Ipswich ahead for the first time tonight, and he succeeded! Jamie Clapham. Maybe now it'll be his year, and it'll be their year. No nonsense penalty from Jamie Clapham. It was straight down the middle. Once the goalkeeper was committed, he was beaten. Holland. Now Magilton. Here's Clapham. Ipswich happy to keep possession. No chances now. Now Elliott here is in big trouble. He's been cautioned already, and that was a nasty challenge on Martin Rusa. 2 yellows equals red. The dream is turning into a nightmare now for Bolton Wanderers. Mike Whitlow sent off. Now Robbie Elliott sent off. The nerve ends have been frayed from the moment that Dean Holdsworth put Bolton Wanderers ahead. It was a reckless challenge by Elliott. He'd already been cautioned. He had to go. Well, Bolton Wanderers with 9 players dismissed already this season before tonight. Now the tally is 11. Johnson with a header on. Here's Naylor. He's away from Ritchie. And here's Martin Rusa. Rusa with a chance to wrap it all up for Ipswich Town. Yes! There's no way back now for Bolton Wanderers. Martin Rusa, the Flying Dutchman who only arrived in England in March, has surely now sealed the win for Ipswich Town, which will take them to Wembley. Good work by Naylor to brush off the challenge of Ritchie, and an exceptional finish by Martin Rusa. The 2 Ipswich substitutes combining well there. Bolton had pushed Fish into midfield. They were playing with just 2 back, but the gamble hasn't paid off for them. Now it's really party time inside Portman Road. Here comes Rusa again. Now Stewart. He's won a corner for Ipswich. Marcus Stewart, who joined Ipswich Town from Huddersfield Town for £2.5 million because he said that Ipswich had more ambition. Now his ambition to go to the Premiership is close to being realised. We're into stoppage time now at the end of the second half. That's it! An exhilarating game, full of controversy. Bolton Wanderers in the lead until 50 seconds from the end of normal time. Ipswich in front for the first time in extra time. And ultimately 5-3 winners, with Bolton reduced to 9 men. At last though they've done it. It's taken 4 attempts, but Ipswich have finally won through to a playoff final at Wembley. Their opponent should be Barnsley, but that's immaterial at the moment. This is a success to savour. One more game and one more win, and Ipswich will be back in the Premiership for the first time since 1995. It's that close. Final score at Portman Road then, Ipswich Town 5, Bolton Wanderers 3, and that means it's Ipswich who go to Wembley 7-5 on aggregate.
My heart was in my mouth, you know, I didn't know what to think, but a minute before the end of the time, and Jim Magilton has just shown what tremendous spirit there is in this club, and I'm so thrilled for all these fans. You know, I mean, I just think the boys are so hell-bent on going to the Premiership. You know, this is just one step. Of course, they're thrilled. These fans have had so much frustration. You can hear how happy they are. They want to go to Wembley, but most of all, we want to go to the Premiership, you know.
So hat-tricks, have you scored any before?
First one.
First one, so
First
what a
one.
night to do it.
It is a very, very good night. This ball's on its way to Belfast, I can assure you. Although the flights to Belfast are a bit dodgy at the minute, so I don't know if this is safe. But Mum and Dad, that's for them.
So what are your plans? What are your celebrations going to be tonight?
I think there's a queue a mile long to get into the players' line, so I'm going to have a few drinks tonight and enjoy this night. It's been a long time coming for everyone at this club, and as we say, we're going to enjoy the night, but get totally focused on Wembley.
So what was going through your mind when you stepped up to take the penalty, Jim, having missed the one before?
Well, Jim he took the first one, scored a great penalty. The second one, tried to hit it in the same spot, struck it well again. The keeper saved it. So it's time to change. And I think before the game, I knew I'd be on them if Jim wasn't on the pitch. And most of the time, the keepers dive out of the way. So I decided to just foot it down the middle, and it worked.
The important thing is now that we are at Wembley, and that was our first goal. And now we get promoted, I hope.
Hope so. And Wembley, have you ever played there before?
No.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah, actually I had vacation plans.
Cancel that.
I think I have to cancel it. I'm going to ask my girlfriend if she wants it, but I think it's no problem.
We've had 9 booked and 2 sent off. Ipswich haven't had 1 player sent off. We've had 3 penalties given against us. I think worse still, we had to suffer this referee at Crystal Palace a few months ago, and he did exactly the same to us. We ended up with 9 men, 7 booked in that game, and none of the Palace players booked. So I think that says it all tonight. You can't do any more than we've done. We've played exceptionally well, and unfortunately, due to the referee, who's made some howling errors, to say the least, has cost us the chance of a Premiership place.
Fantastic goals, a wonderful night. Must be the game of your life, mustn't it?
Certainly is. I always thought before my career ended I'd score a hat-trick, but not in the playoff semi-final, not in the fashion that we did it, but we showed a lot of character, a lot of guts, and it'd be lovely to go to Wembley.
What a night. What a night at Portman Road. Where do you start? I'm not sure, but I know a man who does. Kevin Beattie has made it from Portman Road. We thought Sunday was something special, but what an evening at Portman Road.
Seriously, it hasn't really sunk in with myself yet. I thought Sunday, as you just said, was a great game, but this evening was something else. You know, it's swinging one way, then the other. And it's just something that, as I said, it hasn't really sunk in. It's got to take a couple of days to sink in. Because for so long in the second half, and we saw the pitches, Ipswich fans were kind of reduced to, oh no, here we go again. Wasn't it? It was a good, 35 minutes before Magilton popped up at the end with the equaliser.
The equaliser, yeah, in the last minute. You know, it was one of those games, you know, anything could have happened. There's got to be a lot of controversy, you know, regarding the penalties we've had and what have you. But, you know, you're on the edge of your seat all the time. Going back to the fans, they thought we were dead and buried. But then what George's done is took Tony Mowbray up front. Long ball by Mark Venus. Great knockdown by Tony, and who's there? Jim Magilton again.
OK, we've got lots to talk about. We can't possibly see every single highlight, but the worst possible start. Bolton, take the lead?
Terrible start. You know, I thought myself personally, here we go. I think Richard there is waiting for the referee to blow up. But if you notice, he drops a ball, and when Holdsworth puts a ball in the net, they've got to play it offside. So obviously, it's a horrendous start for us.
But you don't think Richard Wright really had any just cause to feel aggrieved there?
Possibly, you know. Normally nowadays the referees, you know, they do look after the goalkeepers, as you know yourself, Kev. But Richard, I thought, should have come out and either tried to grab it, which he did, or thumped the ball away. But you know, he's under pressure by a player, and when the ball has fallen, Richard sort of looked round for the referee, saying, you know, is it a foul or isn't it? And Holdsworth had touched it in, but I still say that there was a guy on the line offside. I can't remember who it was. But no, I think there's no complaints, really. OK, 1-0. Then the first of 3 penalties for Ipswich tonight. How do you read this one? Oh, this one was a definite penalty. You know, Jim Magilton's trying to go past. I think it's Holdsworth again, Dean Holdsworth. And if you can see, he stuck his leg out there, and that's a definite penalty. But high octane, isn't it? They're complaining, but as you say, definite penalty and well taken. Oh, great penalty, yeah. There's no way that the goalkeeper's going to stop that, because he is a very good goalkeeper. But you know, Jim was fired up this evening. You know, it's the best game I've seen him play. Everybody was fired up. We saw it there, didn't we? Yeah, of course, they're all fired up. It's a semi-final, as we should say. You know, and the thing is, you know, it's a team on the night. But you know, people are complaining. I've heard some of the Bolton fans saying that, you know, definitely weren't a first penalty. But we've just seen it there. It was a first, but you know, it was definitely a penalty. OK, just before half-time, again, it swings Bolton's way with a tremendous free kick, to be fair. Oh, yeah, superb. You know, a lot of people were giving Richard a lot of stick again, but that's straight off the training ground, that is, and Dean Holdsworth is, you know, that's a sweet right foot shot. But I don't think any keeper would have saved that, because I think if you look closely, it might have gone in off the post. It reminded me in a way of the Bayern Munich goal in the Champions League final last year. Exactly, yeah. You know, there's no way a keeper, it doesn't matter where he's standing, can stop that. You know, it's so sweetly, the wall there's lined up, there's nothing they can do about it. And, you know, it's just a class goal. OK, let's move on. 2-1 at half-time. We haven't got time to see Magilton's second penalty, which went the same way. Goalkeeper saves it. But he made up for it, and he had to make up for it very quickly. Best possible start for Ipswich in the second half. Oh, tremendous start. You know, he's gone straight through there. He's beat 3 or 4 players and stuck it in the top corner. Normally, Jim don't get in them positions. You know, he's normally an outside the box player, but... you know, the ball's fallen lovely for him there, but he hasn't half tucked it away, you know, very sweetly. But as I say, he's not normally gets in them positions. He'll normally pass the ball outside the box, but I keep saying it, you know, he's fired up for this evening. He was the hero tonight, just as Marcus Stewart was on Sunday. Yeah. Now, Bolton then regained the lead, and we are into the 90th minute. Richard Wright has made a great save at one end. It looks as if it's all over for Ipswich. Up pops Jim Magilton again. Yeah, well, great ball from Mark Venus up to Tony Mowbray, who does superbly and knocks the ball down, and there's Jim again, and he's half hit that, actually. That could have come off his shin. Well, he won't forgive me for saying that, but you know, it's one of them nights. He's had, you know, it's one of them nights. Everything he's hit has gone in, and he deserved it. He's had a great evening. He's had a great season for us, and it's just glad to see him in the box so many times. He should get there more often. OK, let's see one of the goals that actually decided it in extra time, and this is like it's the 5th goal, but the first time Ipswich were ahead in the tie was in extra time. Exactly, yes. Great finish. The ball came out. They were playing at the time. They were playing like 2 men at the back, 3-2 of ours, and at the time it was 2-on-1 actually, and Richard Naylor had got the ball on the halfway line, and I thought he was going to put Martin Rusia in straight away, but what he'd done is he decided to take the defender on. Then he played Martin in. And we're all expecting Martin to sort of hit the ball with his right foot, but he pulls it onto his left, and a great finish. Quick word about Sam Allardyce's thoughts. I mean, Bolton, 8 yellows, 9 including 1 sending off, 2 reds, none for Ipswich. Does he have a point? Well, I must admit, the referee was a bit, you know, we've all got our say about the referees, but, you know, I don't think they deserve that many yellows. I don't think they deserve 2 reds, to tell the truth, but that is football, you know. And no one at Portman Road, certainly in blue, was complaining. What a night. And there is more where that came from. I can tell you, more drama from the playoffs.